everybody, I'm the Pigglesworth, and welcome back to AlphaCraft. Here we are, right where we left off last episode, over in this spot, but it's not immediately after last episode, and I'm gonna prove it. Hop right in here. Hey you! I have figured out some stuff with these villagers. I'm pretty sure half of you, if not most of you, already know this, but I figured I would just share it because I know every once in a while there's somebody that doesn't know this. So looky here, I've been buying up blocks of quartz like crazy. I've got myself some pillars. I've got a whole bunch of emeralds. Look at that, blocks of emerald. And tons of iron. We've been doing some trading over at Spiderweb Ninja's area to get emeralds so we can come over here and buy from you. Yes, you. Scroll down. Oh, we can buy some more of that. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and do this and this. So let's check and see how we're doing. I want to show you this. So notice how it's late in the day, right? So we're going to come over here. Now there's like this time schedule for how these guys operate. So I want blocks of quartz. So I got myself 12 blocks of quartz. I'll go ahead and drop that in there with that. Now notice, that didn't refresh, that didn't change. Now in the old way of using villagers, if I would buy something up here and then back out and come back, it would possibly refresh, but that doesn't work anymore. It's like the game's broken, but it's not. They changed all the rules. Oh, and the sun. You sun, always messing with me. Well, I'll explain it real quick while the sun's going down, and then I will demonstrate it. So there's now like a work timing schedule for how these guys operate. They have a certain time in the morning when they wake up, and then after that they have a work schedule, which is like 8 a.m. until like noon or something like that. Like I think it's like 5 to 7 minutes in game that you have to trade with them. And then they have like an evening cooldown, and then they have nighttime where they go to sleep. Now, like I said, remember, when you're trading with them, if you lock that trade, you have to buy something else. So what I was doing was I was buying all that chainmail, all that iron mail armor and whatnot to keep refreshing the trade for that other villager so that I could keep trading iron. But I figured out something really, really crazy. Let's go ahead and lock you up just in case any stray any stray zombies get running around and accidentally get near you, turn you into a zombie. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to sleep the night away real quick. We're going to make it daytime. Just have to stand here for a minute. I can only sleep. This is something that I also want to point out that I think is a little bit crazy. So notice, you can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms. Okay? Let's see if I'm far enough back. And scooch back just a little bit. Okay. So it's registering that I'm clicking on a bed, correct? But now it says I can't rest. The bed's too far away. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? They should have just made it where it doesn't register to say you can only sleep in this bed such and such, time of day or whatnot, unless you're within range of it. And if you try to click on it and you can't go to bed, you know automatically by default that you're too far away. As far as I'm aware of, it doesn't do that with boats, and it doesn't do that with minecarts. It only does it with beds, so it's really, really strange. Oh, there goes that zoom thing. Let's check. Yeah, my internet connection. So our server has been swapped over to somewhere in England. Frillioth reset up the server, and I don't know if he moved it to a different service or a personal hosting. I don't know how exactly it's working, but now our server's over in England, and so some of us have trouble every once in a while connecting to it. So that's what that is. And it's just, I think it still has to do with like the time that I'm filming this. There's still a little bit of that pandemic stuff going on in the world, and a bunch of people still being locked down. So I think it's like excessive use of the internet in that area is just kind of slowing it down. So I think it's about a minute to a minute and a half after sunrise is about the time that the game sees it to be around 8 in the morning. So let's see here. He hasn't refreshed yet. So here's another cool trick you can do to check and see when he's ready to sell. I can hold these emeralds, and he'll start scrolling through the items he has. Okay, there's a pillar. See how he skipped the quartz block? He went right to the brick. So he's not ready to sell that quartz block yet, so he hasn't refreshed. Will it be now? Nope. You, I'm telling you, the most stubborn mob in Minecraft. So we're going to watch him scroll through for a second. I'm also going to explain to you about the whole fishing tournament we left off with last episode. So started out really strong. I had all those fish to turn in. But, oh, did you hear that noise? I think that means that he refreshed his trade. Let's see what happens. He's scrolling through real fast. There's a quartz block. Okay, so watch. I'm going to trade with him. It's locked up. We'll back out. He made that noise. He refreshed. I know, you're happy. Go ahead and refresh. Make the noise. Do it. See, as long as they have this workstation, they will keep refreshing their trades. As long as it's the workday, they'll refresh their trades. You just kind of have to sit here for a few seconds. When you hear that noise, you're good to go. So I thought about it. Probably what I need to do is get 2 or 3 masons going. So like you trade with one, you trade with the other, you trade with the other. And by the time you've gotten down to the third one, the first one, there you go. The first one cooperates with you, and you get to where they trade. There you go. And then also, I think I need to get me a couple of villagers over here so we can trade iron as well, so we can have ourselves a little bit of a system going where I can trade iron, get myself emeralds, and then go quartz, and then they'll all be refreshed, and you can keep doing that. So that's how those villagers work, which is just awesome. I never knew all that stuff. And now that I know it, Mojang will change it. That's the way it goes. It's the circle of Minecraft. All right, so let's run over here and come through here so we look at what we're going to do with today's episode. That's some pig. I still need to tear that down. I still need to work out that idea what I want to do with all that cobwebs over at Dramus Mess area. So notice, we have a mine shaft down there. And I don't know if I blocked it off. I think I did block it off. What? And I can't zoom. I cannot zoom because I don't have Optifine installed. Somebody showed me how to... Look! These little stinkers. I ran over here by accident with the Doom and Gloom, whatever it's called, that causes a raid. And apparently since these guys have workstations, it saw this as a village. So it started a raid. So I think these guys are what's left over from the raid. We'll just have to give them a good smack here in a little bit, make them go away. But yeah, there's a mine shaft right down in there, and I want to explore each of those. Ooh, and I got that dirt spot I need to resolve as well. But we need a way to get up and down there, and I've been kind of thinking about that. So that's what I want to do. I want to work on a nice, easy way to get up and down, because as we start moving forward, as I start adding some decoration and stuff to this ravine, having a way to get up and down is going to give us a way to actually look at the ravine from different angles. I kept thinking about it. I'm like, how do I make this where we can have different angles of the ravine, where we can see what's going on? And how could I do this where it's just going to be a nice, simple project for today? It's not going to wear me out. So that's what I'm going to get to doing. I am going to start planning out some ideas of how we're going to get down to these mine shafts. I'm going to get a little bit of an example set up so that I can bring y'all back and show you what it is. So y'all just sit tight for a moment. I'm going to gather up my supplies, start working on some ideas, and then we're going to come back and we're going to look at how in the world is Piggy going to make it look nice where we can get down to the mine shafts. So I'm just standing up here looking down, trying to get an idea of what this thing is going to look like. Just trying to get a few different angles to take a look at it. I can't even really tell from this angle. It's like it looks like something and it doesn't. I'm hoping as I add more of this to the area that it's going to look a whole lot better. It's like it doesn't look bad, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and go down here. I'm not using my elytra. Oh, I do have full bars now. I was going to say, it's so kind of like hit or miss. I never know if I've got full bars or not. I'm not so certain that I want to try and fly around right now. But what I'm doing is I'm building these little little log extensions out and then putting a platform. I figure right in here where we have a major turn, just go ahead and make it flat. I've already got enough complexity going with different angles and stuff. No point in trying to give myself a major nightmare headache trying to do change in elevation at the same time. Let's go ahead and do this. I wanted to add a little bit of color. One, it's going to light the path so it makes it easier to walk. And two, once we're up there, this area down here won't be so absolutely completely dark. We'll be able to look down and see little splashes of light that will illuminate parts of the canyon. Because once I get this canyon completed the way I want, it's going to be a whole lot darker in here. So let's go ahead and hop down here. Because now underneath these little pieces, I want to add one more bit of detail. See, right now, you've just got these, let's kind of back off here just a little bit. You've got these logs sticking out. So it makes sense that you've got, like they dug into the side of the mountain and they shoved a beam in there. And so it's giving it some support. But I was playing around with some different ideas. I was thinking maybe we could do like something kind of diagonal or something else. But then I also wanted to have the look of almost like a wooden bridge, like say for a train or something like that. And so I tried a few different ideas on that, and I kind of settled on this. I need oh no. Do I have dark oak with me? No, I don't. Oh, tartar sauce. I need a stair. All right, let's see here. 1 second. I need to zoom my picture in. I've got a little reference picture just so I can look at. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I knew it looked kind of wonky crazy. All right, let's see here. We'll get you in a minute. Y'all didn't see that. Okay, so I want to do this. Nope. That. Now all of a sudden I want to left click to place instead of right click. I've been doing just enough scrap mechanic that now my brain is all like backwards. Okay, so I want to do that. And then we can put, let's see, squat down here. See, I did it again. I left clicked. That. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and break this block. I've been trying to do it where if I've got anywhere where there's blocks that's kind of in the way of the object, just go ahead and remove the block. See, this is going to be spawn proof anyway because it's a half a block gap. And mobs cannot spawn in half gaps. So let's go ahead and hop down and get this. And what I'm going to want to do is right there in that spot where that fence post is sticking out, that's where I'm going to put my upside down stair. And let's see, maybe we can just kind of go over here and look. Oh, I left another stinking endermite. I've got so many endermite heads, it's ridiculous. I think I gave some of mine to either Stina or Spiderweb Ninja. You can kind of see it now. It's just not a great angle down here where we're at. But it's giving it just a little bit of structural detail. I feel like as we extend it out, it'll add more and more. It's like little bitty details right here and don't look like much, but as you build and build and build and repeat, they add up. Just what's so interesting is while you're running on the platform, you won't see those details. But I'm going to make this platform go down here to that mine shaft. We've got the mine shaft right here. And then this is going to follow this wall up and around that way. So as you walk down, if you look down over the side of the platform, you'll be able to see kind of like a certain above angle. And then like as you're going down this platform, you'll be able to look up and see the bracings and stuff underneath on that angle. And it's also kind of cool. It's like at first I was worried that putting all that detail on the underside of that walkway was going to be pointless because you almost will never see it. And I don't know if you noticed, but like there's even little detail underneath the buildings right there. Uh-oh, we can see the hoppers. I'm going to need to add some trapdoors on that so that those do look like pipes. Okay, so I've got a little more work cut out for me. Oh my gosh. And then I've got my scaffolding so that I can try to get up underneath here. But that's like the general gist of what I'm trying to do here. What we're trying to accomplish. Oh my gosh, yeah, these, I'm going to need some more ender pearls. There we go, we can kind of see that a little bit better. If I had the stair right there, it would definitely give a difference in color. And using the dark oak and the spruce logs, those colors are so close together that it kind of looks like it ties together like one solid object. I'm feeling a little bit better about this now. Now that I'm kind of looking at it, I'm feeling like this might actually work out a little bit better. I'll go and hop up here. There we go. And if you notice, we've got a rail. It's just high enough that you can't accidentally like jump over it and fall off. And I also like that there's a little bit of a gap here, so we can actually see through it, which I think is going to be more important as we add more of this structure. And what's also cool is now we don't have a solid, bland gray wall. We're going to add some color to it. Ooh. And as I get to this side of the pathway, we'll actually be able to run really fast. Okay. All right, so I'm going to continue working on this path and trying to get some different elevation changes and stuff going on, get a little bit more detail in it, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at our pathway to the mine shafts. Alrighty, I was waiting for it to get dark before I showed you this so that you could see what this pathway looks like all lit up. Now right now I don't have it fully complete because I still have to finish this room right here. So we're going to have this path here, and this path here. All three of these are going to have to converge somewhere right in this area, but we're going to do that a different day. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Now, I also tried to do it where as I built this, I came up with different variations of areas. Since we're not varying the materials, all the material doesn't look weathered and worn out. It's the same thing. Like, you know how normally sometimes we might swap out one of these logs for something else, or the platform, or a different kind of fence post. Since they're all uniform and the same, I tried to change different ways and different styles that this would be built. So we've got some, it's kind of like on a 90 degree of the other, or like right here, we come up to this area and the platform just turns and changes. So that way it feels more like you have a style of a platform that was built to fit the landscape. Instead of trying to get a repetitive pattern going over and over again, we worry about a repetitive style and then make it fit. So it's really cool. Like I've got these really cool little diagonal stair things going here, and then some diagonal handrails. But look. Oh man, I love that. It's like it's no longer this boring gray ravine. You actually have like this really cool platform that goes all the way down. Now let's run over here because I want you to be able to see what I meant. When you get around on the platform and you start getting to a lower elevation, you're going to be able to start noticing details on the underside of things that you wouldn't have noticed otherwise. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and closed this off. We will deal with that a different day. But now that we're down here, now we can start seeing all that detail. Isn't that cool? Oh, we can't see that from here. Let's go over here. Check this out. Instead of having it jut out the side, I was like, you know what? Where it turns 90 degrees, let's just kind of build up like there's this support right there, because maybe it's such a tight little area for it to turn. I've also got plans for something that's going to go right here, and that's going to make a little bit more sense that maybe we would need all this support and structure. So let's run over here. So we've got this mine shaft right here that we found. And then all the way down at the bottom, we have another mine shaft. I just love this because now you kind of get to explore the ravine. And there's a reason for exploring the ravine. So we just come down here. And I went ahead and blocked this off. So we've got the two mine shafts. And when you're down here, you can look up. See just all that. You could technically get down and actually explore this as well, because we've got the little double jump thing going on, and if you have a few ender pearls, you could actually come down into the bottom of the ravine and start looking around. I love it. It's so cool. Like I said, I was so concerned that I was going to have this giant ravine. Hey, Stina. Welcome back, Stina. Say hello to YouTube. Oh, no, she's sleeping. It's okay, Stina. Don't freak out. But yeah, I love this. I love how this turned out. Like I said, it's giving detail to the ravine, so the ravine actually looks a little bit nicer. We get a chance to actually explore the ravine, look around and see what different stuffs are going on. Hi, you wonderful viewers. So let's see. See, we can come over here and you get your little jump boost, and you can jump 2 blocks. Let me see if I can squat. Yeah, if you squat, you can fit right in there. Oop, that's not going to let me. Okay, and then here. And then look at that. Without using ender pearls. So if you do have a mishap, if you accidentally fall all the way into the ravine, there is a way to jump back out, even if you don't have ender pearls or an elytra or anything like that. Don't mind me, I'm just here to count the fish. Yeah, I will not be winning that fishing tournament anytime soon, I can tell you that much. But it's okay. I finally reached a certain point where I realized that I was lagging behind everybody else. Everybody else practically turned in the maximum amount of fish every single day. And it's just overboard. It's crazy. You're going to have to go watch all their videos and Stina's to figure out all those extra little details. But it got to the point where I was lagging behind so much. I'm like, okay, I can't keep up with this. Like, okay, so the previous week, I was working from home during this crazy quarantine thing. So I had plenty of time at lunch that I could log on here and play and fish and keep up. Those inspectors, I'm going to have to get rid of them. But then sure enough, the next week, I actually started having to go back to work physically. And so I wasn't able to keep fishing. I couldn't keep up. The alphas are insane fishermen. So I just lagged behind. So what I decided to do instead was all the extra fish I've got caught, I'm going to keep them because I have an idea for using them. So yeah, they're not going to go to waste. Not at all. They're just going to hang out over there by the coral while I'm gathering coral. And then we can bring all that over in one fell swoop and use it. So before this episode is over, I have one more idea. I have one more thing that I want to put right here in this spot. But I have to go gather up materials that look like this to put it in this spot. You're like, Piggy, what are you up to? What are you doing? Well, you know how we always want areas to have stories and ideas, history, things that have existed. I've got one more thing that I want to add right here in this spot that's going to add a little bit more history and story to this area and what could have happened here. So I'm going to go grab all that stuff and work on it for a little bit because it's going to take a lot of fiddling about to try and make it look the way I want it to. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll come back and we will see what in the world are we starting to do that's going to add even more detail to this area. There we go. What a mess. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a beautiful mess. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is quite the mess. You know what I need to do? Let's do something like that. I'm just trying to figure out like different ways we can keep this area spawn proof, but I can keep using different materials that were used to build that. See if you can figure out what the storyline is while I just kind of like glance around here real quick. Now this turned out pretty good. I feel like it could have been better, but I've never really done anything like this. So there's probably some tricks and things that I'm not thinking about. But here's basically what happened. There used to be one of these right here before they built that platform. Maybe this was like the first one they ever built. And for whatever reason, something happened and this beam right here rotted out. And the whole thing came crashing down. And it landed right here in this spot. And so what ended up happening was this roof, like this whole piece hit this edge, but there's still a drop off. So that part of the roof like snapped off and slid down. And so I went ahead and made, a little bit of like the crops that were growing inside. They all kind of got like spread out. Maybe a few of them survived and they still tried to grow because these lanterns are actually inside that little structure. You can kind of see one right there. I don't know if YouTube's going to let you see that. I'll jump up there in a minute. But so some of these lanterns came crashing down, so maybe they survived and gave off enough light that all this food kept growing. So that's kind of like the general idea. And I tried to mix things up where maybe we used a little bit of cobblestone, like some of this smooth, nice looking stone. When it hit the ground on impact, it kind of cracked it and busted it up. Oh, the sun's almost going down. I was hoping we could look at it at night. Let's just kind of hop through here. Oh, I need to turn that off. Whoop, there we go. Yeah, I was checking the area just to make sure that as I built all of that I made sure everything was going to stay spawn proof. So we can kind of run down here, and you just see a bit of a mess. A little bit of a mess. Now this part right here, eventually I'll have to build something up there so that you can see the remnants of it, and then hopefully between those two things, your brain will kind of put two and two together and figure out what was going on. And I thought about building more of this kind of like strewn down the mountainside. I don't quite know if I want to do that or not. I might do it. I might throw like a block here and there, but I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking that maybe as they built this platform, that whatever mess ended up down there, they just went ahead and cleaned it up. Maybe they left this up here just because they haven't gotten into cleaning it up yet. Or maybe it's a reminder. You guys up in there, no jumping up and down. You might break the thing and it'll fall. That's a reminder for you guys to work and not play. Let's go up here and I'll show you the items that are inside that versus what's in that down there. We're wasting a few moments letting the sun go down. Hop, hop, hop. I tell you what, having that double jump really does help. Let's see here. Oh no, we've only got 4 more ender pearls. Can we do it without wasting? Oh, there we go. That's weird. I didn't even see the ender pearl throw. So see, we've got lanterns and different stuff in there like that. So that made sense why those items would end up down there. And if we look from above, the rooftop kind of is in the shape of these rooftops. Now the problem is that unless you go back and watch the episode where I built these, and you see the time lapse for building it, you'd never really know what the top of that roof looks like. So being right here, you kind of get a semblance of what the roofland looks like. And I've also realized that running around up here, you still really don't get a good glance unless you get right here on the edge and squat. You really don't get a good glance. Oh, that's kind of an interesting angle. You don't get a good glance of what everything looks like from here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to throw an ender pearl down so that we don't have to run all the way. Maybe right in that spot. There we go. Whoop. And now we can come over here and we can look at nighttime with everything dark. See? Big old mess. Those inspectors are still there. Apparently those two spots, there's something wrong with them and they just have to sit there and check them out. I thought we had a little clear thing that would clear out the pillagers. Maybe when Frillioth moved the server, he didn't update the thing, and so they're just going to stay there. I'll probably have to get some bow and arrows and smack them. But it's cool because it's really dark in here, and we've got this area to light our way, so these lights draw your eye's attention to the pathway if you don't already notice it because of the color variance. And then we have these lights right here that kind of draw you to this little area right here. So like I said, I'm really liking this. Now that we're adding some different stuff down here and color and detail, the ravine that was kind of like just a backdrop canvas is starting to come together and have some life and detail of its own. Layers upon layers upon layers, each with an intent and reason for existing, gives this area some history, gives this area a lived-in look, and gives this area something that I really like. All that detail. Like I've said before, I would never have been able to plan and build all this detail as just one build. So I'm really glad that we're doing it in passes. Oh man, oh man. I'm just going to run down here as I say my spiel. How about that? So if you enjoyed this episode, please click that like button. If you want to see more of these as I release them, you're not already subscribed and you want to be, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. And if you want YouTube to notify you when new videos come out, go ahead and click the notification bell. And then we'll take a chance and see if YouTube cooperates. Have no idea if it will or won't. Oh, there we go. We got our Zoom shoes back on. I was wondering when that was going to happen. But I'm going to run all the way down here like a fool so that I can get myself prepped and ready for next episode. And that's when I hope to see you is in the next episode of AlphaCraft. Great. Now I got to run all the way back up there.